rocky railway. Wow, the first day just flew by, didn't it? I'm Ava, a red-tailed hawk. You can find me and my family members all over North America. We're everywhere. Even though we live all across North America, you may not see me in your backyard. Well, unless you don't have any neighbors. We like to live in wide open spaces where we can soar over treetops, grass, and water looking for food. You might say that red-tailed hawks are faithful friends. When we find a mate, we stay together for life. My fine feathered friend and I build our nest together and care for our chicks together. We're an excellent team. I'm happiest way up in the sky. That's why I build my nest at the tallest point I can find. Some hawk nests have been spotted as high as 120 feet off the ground. That's as high as a human tower of 20 tall crew leaders. My nest might be at the tip top of a tree, or even on the top of a building or a telephone pole. That gives me a bird's eye view of what's around, food, friends, or animals that might want to hurt us. I love soaring with my big, beautiful wings. They're more than 3 feet across, you know. God gave me just what I needed to catch the wind and just fly. Up here, you see things differently. Stuff that seemed big seems smaller. Things that seemed harder look much easier. A path that looks like a dead end? Hey, I can see a way out. A fresh perspective can put the wind under your wings and give you the strength to keep going. Sometimes I spot you humans with my sharp hawk eyes, and you look a little down. Do things seem impossible? Scary? Hopeless? Maybe you need a fresh perspective. Maybe you need to see things Jesus' way, with hope. Jesus is stronger than anything. He has a plan for everything. You can have strength, courage, and hope. The Bible encourages us with these words. So be strong and courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord. Jesus' power gives us hope. So trust Jesus.
Hey, Wildman! Hi, over here. Oh, what do you have with you today? Oh, she's so precious. Oh, she's scared. Oh, can I help her? Okay, I'll be careful. So what happened? She fell out of a nest. She was. Where was her mommy? No. Oh, you know what? I bet you that's the raven that they have down at the animal sanctuary. Let me call Cindy, okay? Hey, Cindy! Oh, there she is. Look at there she is. Is this your baby? So sweet. There you go. That's so nice. Thank you, Cindy. Will you make sure that they stay in the cage together?
Oh, definitely.
Thank you. Well, boys and girls, I love happy endings, don't you? Yeah, you know what, Loudman, you were really something else. You were saving all the little animals out there, and just no wonder you're out there. Yeah? You give all the God all the glory. That is awesome. Okay. Well, hopefully you'll be back tomorrow, or are you going back up the mountain? Oh, you're going up and then back? Oh, okay. You have something else to bring me tomorrow. Okay. Well, yeah, you got some leaves in your hair.
I see.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming. Bye-bye. Okay, well, boys and girls, I love happy endings, and you know what? With Jesus, He always gives us hope.
Well, good morning, little travelers. E.E. here. Today, we're going to be heading up high in the Rockies because we've got a supply of lots and lots of things that some people up in the mountains, they were trapped in a snowstorm and they're running mighty low on supplies.
Engineer Earl.
And yes, Miss Ferndale, over here.
Good day, Engineer Earl. I
certainly hope we were lenient on schedule today. I have the most delicate international cheeses for my ladies' luncheon this week. And I must get them into the icebox as soon as possible.
That's great, Miss Ferndale. You see, we are definitely running on schedule. As a matter of fact, we're going to be pulling out pretty soon, so I suggest you get to your compartment real quick here. You know, a lot of people are concerned about other people's needs, but there are others that only care about their own wants. You know, Jesus, he cared about other people's needs. Matter of fact, he came to this earth and died for the needs of others. And when you follow Jesus, you'll become more like him, and you will get to be having the urge to care about other people's needs ahead of your own. So there is, well, I have to say it, there is a certain lady that we all know that could use a little bit more of Jesus, don't you think? So just remember, no matter what your life is going through, Jesus will give you hope.
Hello, travelers. Today, for day 2, we're talking about Jesus' power gives us hope. And our story today is in Acts 27, when Paul encourages others in a storm and shipwreck. Men began a riot, accusing Paul of spreading false doctrine and of defiling the temple. Guards arrested Paul and threw him in prison. The following years included many trials, death threats, secret transfers to other prisons, and finally a trip to Rome where Paul could plead his case before Caesar. In Acts 27:9, Paul notes the sailing season in connection with Jewish observances. Sailors usually sailed from Pentecost, which was May through June, through the Tabernacles, which was after the Day of Atonement in late September or early October. Roman sailors resisted sailing in November, as it typically proved very dangerous. The sailors battled the fierce storm for at least 3 days, using every trick they knew to secure the ship and survive hurricane-force winds and waves. Finally, the weary seamen lost hope of ever being saved. At this low point, Paul shares the hopeful news given by God. God's message of hope, given through Paul, rang true for the soldiers and the prisoners. God's angel assured Paul that none of you will lose your lives in Acts 27:22. However, after the shipwreck, the soldiers planned to kill the prisoners so they wouldn't escape. Roman law mandated that a soldier who lost a prisoner had to take that prisoner's place. But the commanding officer wanted to spare Paul, so he didn't let them carry out their plan, as told in Acts 27:43. And just as the angel said, not even one prisoner died that day. In many ways, Paul was powerless in the stormy sea. He didn't have the experience as a sailor, but he couldn't stop the crashing waves and howling winds, but he did have Jesus' power on his side. So, our Bible verse for today is Psalm 31:24. So be strong and courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord. And remember, Jesus' power gives us hope.
Hey Raymond, when you're done with the luggage, please bring me my small wrench.
You got it, E.E.
Thank you, appreciate it.
There's a spirit I cannot contain. There's a spirit I cannot contain. The same power that raised Jesus up from the grave. The same spirit I cannot contain. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where your fire in my soul. Your kingdom is my home, and I don't walk alone. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope, come what may. Where I go with you. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. Where I go with you.
Hey, boys and girls, thanks for joining us today. And remember, like we heard in the story today, that it's the power of Jesus that gives us hope.